And what's up, Heat Seekers? My name is Joe Otis from joeislit.com, and welcome to this week's edition of Lit Picks. I am on a 3-week winning streak against Mike. I kind of have Mike's number. I'm looking like a championship team here. So I have a new hat I'm dishing out tonight, and it's for Mike's favorite team because I'm kicking his ass so badly. I'm going to be wearing the hat of the New York Yankees. Mike, what do you think about that?
I'm glad they lost, and every single time they lose makes me happy. So I can't express that enough. Yeah, I'm getting destroyed. So I'm thinking maybe I have to do something and I have to kick something up. So maybe I do like if I lose, I retire. It's something like that. Like I need to pick me up to like force me to get back into things. Also, I've noticed that both of our beards are terrible and we're getting white hair and we're very old. So
Well,
that's something I've also noticed on
that's
this
what
as well.
the camera will do to you. It'll show all your gray hairs. It'll show all the
Yeah.
embarrassing. So jealous of the Yankees.
Yeah, I'm totally jealous of them, spending the most money and losing. It's pretty fun.
See what these guys would say.
It is.
Actually zoomed in tonight.
It is for you, yeah. We miss those books in the background and
That's usually what we do for the opening, though. We usually
the cereal box.
So welcome for Lit Picks. It is NFL Week 7 in 2021. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And let's go over the rules, shall we? If you pick the underdog outright, that is 3.5 points and up, it's 4 points. If you pick the underdog outright, that's 3 points and less, it's 3 points. If you pick the game spread or over under, that's 2 points. And if you pick the favorite, you get 1 point. All right, so let's bring this view back into how people normally see it. There we go. All right, so let's before we get started, let's go into our comments section here. They must have 4 camera on them. Funny guys.
I heard 50.
Must have a patchy beard to make Lit Picks.
I sit behind a mask all day. I mean, it doesn't matter what my beard looks like.
All right, so let's get into our first game here. It is the Washington football team at the Green Bay Packers coming from Lambeau Field on Sunday. It's an early game. It's going to be cold, 49 degrees and cloudy. So with that being said here, the football team didn't look so great last week against the Chiefs. They're going to be going to Green Bay to taking on a Packers team that we thought was left for dead after week 1, have won 5 in a row. I think that I really don't know if there's going to be a point in time here where you can just say, oh, pick the football team. There's got to be an upset somewhere. I'm not going to be that reckless with picking my upsets. Normally I do that and it usually bites me in the ass. So I'm just going to take the over in this one, which is 47.5. What do you think about that, Mike?
I really like the over, and I was going to go with that, and then I was just thinking about it. But first things first, like the lines this week, like if there's any week that's like the best ever teaser week, like this is the primo like teaser week. Like for there's like 4 games that are like plus 14 or something. Like it's crazy. Yeah, I like Green Bay. Washington's beat up. I don't know what's wrong with them. I mean, they didn't really lose anybody on defense. I mean, they lost Kerrigan, and he's not doing anything for the Eagles. So it's like I don't know what's wrong with them, but they're just beat up. They're hurt, and you said cold weather. I'm taking Green Bay. I'm laying the points. I'm going with it.
I think Jack Del Rio, the defensive coordinator, could be in trouble for the football team if he doesn't pick things up with this defense that has like I said before last week, has a very strong front seven, with Chase Young, Jonathan Allen. He really could be out of a job by the end of the season. And when was the last time they were good 2 years in a row? That never happens, though. That's a good point by Bob. They're really never good 2 years in a row. They always are good 1 year, then they stink the next. Like go back to 2012 when they had RG3, when they won the division that year. They sucked the next year, and then Shanahan was out of a job. So
his quarterback got hurt, and that was the end of things because they shouldn't have been playing.
Yeah, that's true.
That hurt too.
All right, on to our next game. And how does the audio sound, folks, in the audience?
You're good.
Hear me well? Good?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, so our next game is the New York Jets at the New England Patriots, coming from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. The weather is 57 degrees and clear. Love this cool weather. It's definitely chilly weather out there. And for you to make your chili, eat the chili, enjoy it, have some nice fall beers. For this game, I'm looking at the over-under on this one, and it's pretty low. 42 and a half. So, I mean, I think that most of the experts are thinking that the Patriots are just going to stop the Jets in this one and win like 21-10 or something like that, or maybe 28-10. That being said, I think that the Jets are probably going to have a better effort coming from Zach Wilson. He has been getting better lately. So I'm going to take the over in this one because I think it just looks so low that I don't really these teams have played already before. I believe that went the under last time, but I'm just going to take the over this time. What do you think?
It did. It went like 34 last time. So I looked at this and I'm doing the double in this game. I'm taking the Pats laying the points and I'm going with the under as well. I don't see this happening. I don't think that Zach Wilson is a bounce back game. The Patriots are good. And the Jets defense is actually quietly good too. So I don't think this is going to be, I don't see the Patriots like last week, that Cowboys game. I don't even want to speak of it. It should have been the under. It was disappointing. I mean, the Patriots, they average 14, 15 points, 17 points a game or something like that. So I don't see them putting up 20 points here, and I don't see the Jets putting up 20 points. So I do love the under, but I really think the Patriots, I think they win the game 21-10, something like you were saying. I don't see the Jets really doing it. They're in New England too. That's tough. They don't do very well there.
CJ Mosley is a game time decision though for the Jets. So that's going to be rough if they're going to be without him. Look at this guy. Patriots are my survivor pick. Did these teams just bore us like 2 weeks ago? Yes. How many quarterbacks has Washington had?
A lot.
Taylor Heineke had thrown an interception. That's actually a good bet. I like that one as well.
He's been playing really badly ever since, you know what? I picked him up on my team.
So ever since you picked him up, he's been bad?
And yep. And Sam Darnold too. Same thing. So I've released them. So hopefully they'll have a bounce back this week.
You know, we're talking about the camera before. I was looking at videos from like 2 years ago. I must have been 20, 30 pounds lighter. My head looks way less fatter. And
welcome to having kids.
That's so hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. So our next game is the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens from Baltimore. The Ravens are a team that's also been on a roll. They lost that first game in the season. They've won 5 in a row. And the Bengals, they've been getting lucky, I think. So I don't expect them to march into Baltimore, a team that is admittingly they're missing some running backs there. They're probably going to have to start Devontae Freeman this week. And they've just had the injury bug. They've been lost Marcus Peters at the beginning of the season. With that being said, they're 5-1. They're on tops of the AFC Central, and I think they're going to keep that this week. And I'm going to take the Ravens laying the 6.5. I can see them winning by 2 scores against a Bengals team that I think has been lucky to get to where they're at today at 4-2. What do you think?
So if our point system accounted for it, I would take the Bengals straight up because I think they're going to win this. I think a lot of people think they've been lucky, and it is weird kind of saying that they are a good team. But Baltimore 2 weeks ago, the Monday night game, and then last week I thought that they were going to come out, and I thought the Chargers were going to whoop them, and it went the exact opposite. They're riding high. It's time for a divisional matchup. This is going to be a little bit different. I'm taking Cincy. I'm taking the points, and I'm taking this one home.
All of that confidence.
Yeah, I really think like Burrow's playing really well.
I mean, I would buy that. I mean, everyone says Lamar Jackson. Like, when are they going to finally stop him? Like, they've been saying that he was going to be figured out this year. No one's been able to figure it out. He's been throwing for 350 yards in some games. I'm going to buy that, and I think very well that the Ravens could be in the AFC Championship game at least.
I'm going to sell it, and I am still sticking with the Chargers will play them and beat them in the playoffs.
All right. The Bengals with the points, they might win outright. A lot of guys liking the Bengals. Maybe that's what Vegas wants you to think. Ravens are due for a stinker. Come off letdown week. That very well could happen. And everyone's picking the Bengals. Look at that.
There you go.
All right. So our next game is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. Live from Nissan Stadium in Nashville. It'll be a very, very clear day, which will be very beneficial for the Chiefs in that high passing attack. They'll be once again without Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I believe that that could kind of hamper them a little bit. That being said, I think a lot of the people think the Chiefs are going to win this one. They're 4.5-point favorites, but I'm going to go. Once again, you got to risk it to get the biscuit. I'm taking the Titans on the money line at plus 180. They beat the Bills on Monday night. They're a team that plays up for the tough teams, and they play down for the teams that they should be beating. That's something that's going to work against them in the future. There are 2 games up ahead of the Colts in the division for the AFC South. But with that being said, I think that I like them pulling off the upset here. I think a lot of people are going to pick the Chiefs in this one. I think the Titans are going to come out on top. I love that rushing attack. You love Derrick Henry. What do you think?
I do like him. He's just, I don't like him in PPR leagues. I'm still waiting for that to, come to fruition. Obviously, it's never going to happen. I like the over in this one, but I really think that KC's going to win this game. And I'm laying the points here. Listen, Tennessee won last week. There was something about Monday night. I was like, before that game started, I was like, they're going to play well. They're going to come out and win. But I just don't see this as a matchup. And by the way, I just told you I released, Heineke and Darnold. So therefore, you know who I picked up?
Who'd you pick up?
I picked up Tannehill. So I'm going to take the Chiefs here laying the points because I can almost guarantee that that's going to happen because every quarterback I picked up just stinks. So
do you think there's much of a difference between Darrell Williams and Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Yes, but I do think Williams is very good backup. I think just I like CEH. I just like his kind of explosiveness that he kind of has.
Chiefs here, high confident, big bet.
Yeah, I kind of like this too.
Defense is offense. Derrick Henry doesn't catch passes.
Did I take that? Oh, I did
lemon
take
line
that.
Here for Henry. Do you like the lemon line Gatorade?
I do. I've been doing a lot of Gatorade before practices. Yeah.
I like the orange Gatorade.
There's a new one. There's like a some kind of lemonade one. It was really good. I forget which kind it was, but it was really good.
Is it lemonade Gatorade?
Yeah.
Do you like inside jokes? I think that Derrick Henry is way better than him, to be honest with you. All right, on to the next game. It is the Carolina Panthers at the New York Giants, coming to you live from MetLife Stadium on Sunday. We have the 3-3 Panthers who have struggled the last 3 weeks. They lost 3 in a row against a Giants team that has very well underperformed. Their offensive line is still in shambles. Danny Dimes is not looking as bad as the record would say. A lot of people aren't blaming it on him. They're blaming it on the injuries, losing Saquon Barkley, as well as that offensive line, as I said before, not being very well. The defense has been okay. With that being said, I'm taking the Panthers, laying the 2.5. I think that Darnold's going to go back going back to the MetLife Stadium, and I think he's going to light it up against the Panthers again, as he did with the Jets earlier this season. He's going to take it out again on another New York team, and I think that he's going to come up big with a win this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Panthers do. This is like a get back, get right game for them. But I can also this is also like I'm taking a stand here. Don't ever take the Giants at home because always take them on the road. I'm looking here at the under. I know 42 looks a little bit low, but both offenses have been really bad. Darnold, I thought Darnold played pretty – I thought he didn't actually play that bad last week. So I think, that could be good for him. But I think that I think both teams try and control the clock here. I'm taking the under here in a kind of I think it might be a little bit of a snore fest.
Okay. Fierce Mango. Clap when you get to the LOS. Giants had everyone injured, but this is going to be a horrible game. Avoid.
Yeah, it's not one I would pick if I had to. That's for sure.
What do you get when Darnold drinks you get a Darnold Palmer? That's pretty funny. I'd rather hang out with Ziggs than watch this game. That's fun.
Then again, I was just looking, and apparently I did take this for my mega. As I talk about it. Whoops.
You want to answer that one, Mike?
I have no idea.
All right. Next game is the Atlanta Falcons at the Miami Dolphins. And this is from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. These two teams, I'm not too crazy about the Falcons, to be honest with you, in this one. Even though on paper, the way Tua's been playing, the way the Dolphins has been playing, they haven't been playing like that highly coached team of Brian Flores as so far in 2021. And the bad thing for the Dolphins is they're going to give the Eagles their first-round pick next year. So if they're really bad, the Eagles can get a top 3 pick. And For this game, I don't think there's a lot of scoring, to be honest with you. I can see the Falcons winning again, maybe 30-10. And I think that for the over/under being 48, that's way too high for both these teams. I'm just going to take the under on this one, which is 48. What do you think?
I like Atlanta here. I actually have them in my survivor. It's like the only time I'm looking at it. They're coming off a bye. I mean, I know the problem that happened is that I'm looking at this, and Miami was the favorite last week, and nobody got hurt, and now they're the dog. So that does scare me, and it's one reason why I probably shouldn't be doing this. But I just think with the bye, I'm going with Ryan. I'm going with Ridley. I just think Miami's kind of they're struggling greatly. So I'm going to take this. They didn't take the bye after London too, and I think that's a big mistake. Which I don't think anybody's ever done that before. So I'm interested to see how they come out with that. So I'm just taking Atlanta here, laying the points.
We're like no sell from me. Miami with very high confidence. Finn's got to play better here. Miami hot dog of the week. That could be a possibility, I think, for that one. All right, our next.
I mean, they were favorites 5 days ago, so it's definitely going to happen.
You don't think that's a hot dog then?
I mean, it is, but yeah, they were favorites 5 days ago, and they just lost to Jacksonville, and then everything switched. But nobody got hurt, so yeah, I don't know if it's that. It's definitely a dog.
We're going to be moving on to the late slate of games now, with the Detroit Lions taking on the Los Angeles Rams from SoFi Stadium under the dome, with the really good weather. And with that being said, this is kind of a revenge game. You have Matthew Stafford going to be welcoming his former Detroit Lions with a new head coach in Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell was emotional 2 weeks ago, and based on his intensity, I took the Lions to beat the Bengals last week, and it didn't really work out for me. So I have no other choice but then to take the Rams minus 16. I think that the Rams want to shove it down Stafford's or Goff's throat and show them exactly what happened. They could say, "Hey, you sucked in the Super Bowl. This is our revenge game against you. We're going to embarrass you with your new team, and we're going to send you back to Detroit with a loss." And I'm going to take the Rams winning big, laying 16. What do you think?
I can totally see that. But when I looked at it, I looked at 16 and I was just like, I don't know. I'm going to go with Detroit. You have Goff going back into the Rams. Maybe he'll play well there. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. So let's hope that he does well and throws the ball to Hawkinson about 75 times. And, he throws to Swift what's it? I can't think of the running back's name. Is it Swift? Am I right? Yeah, it throws it to him about 40 times and Jamal Williams about 40 times, and that's it. So let's just hope that happens.
Lions are coming to play. They'll lose only by 17. Okay.
That means I lose.
They win this. Lions will wait for the Birds to get their.
I sure hope so. That'd be great.
Goff will have a good game by his standards. 16 is an insult in the NFL. That's a very, very huge spread.
We'll get ready for the Arizona game.
Oh, yeah, right. All right, so next game is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Las Vegas Raiders, 4-2 with their new interim head coach. They were really, really impressive last week. I thought that they were going to get destroyed by the Broncos, but instead they go and get the upset in Denver. We have an Eagles team which is coming off a loss last Thursday night against the Buccaneers, where they at least covered the spread. They have no reason to do this, but you're going to call me homer. I'm taking the Eagles on the money line. You probably thought I was going to do that as a
I knew you were going to do that, yeah.
I mean, I believe the spread's 2.5. So, I mean, that's not that. I mean, you would think it'd be a lot higher if the Raiders are going to win. I mean, that spread is easing its way towards the Eagles. And with that spread so low, it makes you want to take the Eagles as a road dog. What do you think?
Yeah, everything went against me. Like last week, I expected the Raiders to lose, and they won. And I'm like, okay, so they were going to come back next week and win. Actually, there's a interesting stat that I heard. Interim coaches have won their first games. Do you know what they've done their second games? Lost every time. So that's in like the past 3 years or 4 years or something like that. So in this sense, you're probably on the ride. I want the Eagles to lose every single game. I think it would be so cool if the Eagles, the Dolphins, and the Colts were bad, and the Eagles had the first, second, and third pick, and they screw all of them up because they're terrible. But it would be really fun to have that happen. So I'm rooting against them for everything. So I just took the under here. I don't think if there's one thing the Eagles really do well, they don't let up the big play. Like if you really think like let's look back at what we, like as Eagles fans and what has happened nonstop as the big plays, they haven't really done that, so it's just they're getting drive after drive, but that takes time off the clock. 48 and a half.
That statement. I agree.
Right.
With that.
And like, let's hope that, maybe he listened to the crowd who was cheering when they actually ran the football, and Miles did a great job running the ball for 4 hard yards. So let's hope that he runs it. And I'm going for the under here. So
Birds win here. He likes that.
Yeah, I think they do too. I just don't want to pick them.
Fraud. Teams with interim coach look good in the first week. That's about it. Go Birds. Sirianni adds another Sharpie to visor. Eagles win. The Raiders love to torment you, Kaz.
I know. I don't touch them.
Eagles play a lot of cover deep, so that's probably why they're not giving up.
And Raiders look for the big play,
All right, our next game is the Chicago Bears at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bears and the Bucs played last year on Thursday Night Football. I remember that, and the Bears beat the Buccaneers, the defending world champions. Game this week will be at Raymond James Stadium. They'll have a little rematch here. It'll be an 87-degree weather. That's really freaking hot for this time of the year. I think that the Bears aren't that bad of a team as you think they are, even though they haven't really been that impressive. So I'm just gonna hit the gas on this one. I'm gonna take the Bears plus 13. I think their defense perhaps can hold a Gronk-less Buccaneers in check, and I think that they'll be able to handle 13 points. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this like both times, and hold on a second, I'm just checking. Yeah, I went back and forth on this, so it's interesting enough that I think it's like a plus for them if you take them if you take the Bucs laying the 13. I'm going with the first half. The Bears are a notoriously slow starting team. They kind of pick things up in the second half a little bit. So I think in Tampa, usually they're gonna get the ball, they're gonna drive down the field and score. So I'm taking them laying 6.5. I think they're up by a touchdown at halftime. And I think going into this, I think it's like a 10-point game or something like that. Is the final score. So I'm just gonna take the Bucs here in the first half.
All right. Tampa banged up might be a sleepy win for Tampa, like if they ate a chicken parm hero. Sleep, chicken parm hero, sleepy.
What?
Who's the Bears running back this week?
Because so Damian Williams is out again. Thank you for all my fab money being spent.
Is it Cohen?
Herbert? No, he's not back yet. Herbert's out. It's I don't know because I don't know if Herbert's playing or not. So. It was another rookie, I think, that was getting on there. So, but I don't think they're going to have Damian Williams back either. So it's a good question.
And I don't think he'll be getting that much yards anyway.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're going to try and run. So Fields might be the leading rusher there.
I believe the Buccaneers are a good rush defense, aren't they?
They're phenomenal. That's why nobody tries to run on them.
Yeah. All right. So the next game is the Houston Texans at the Arizona Cardinals. If you were talking about a knockout pool, this is my knockout pick for the week. I'm taking the Cardinals in this one. I'm happy to still have them in Week 7. What can you say? Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know how he's keeping it up, but he is. 6-0. They're the last undefeated team in the NFL, and I gotta say, I think they're for real. They're definitely contenders, and I could definitely see them perhaps in that NFC Championship game at the end of the season. I think that the Cardinals are going to be a little bit pissed off in this game because it's a show-me game for two players in particular, and I'm saying DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt. I think that they can score the 47 points in their own, so I'm just going to take the over, which is 47.5. What do you think?
I think you left out a member. David Johnson wants payback, okay? Yeah. How dare you forget him? I don't know.
I forget David Johnson. I took him third in the fantasy draft one year.
Yeah. I don't know. I looked at the spread too, and I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. And guess what I'm doing? I'm taking Arizona laying the points. I'm just looking at it and I'm like, yeah, I can see them winning by 24. I don't think it's going to be as like astronomical as people think it is, but 24 is pretty much it's a lot in the NFL. They're playing very well, and their defense is actually really solid too. So yeah, I don't know. That's a lot though. I mean, I don't know. Is there a thing for the most points ever?
I'm
Was
not
there like
sure.
a
I have to
20
look
point
it up.
spread at one point?
That's like a college spread there when
Yeah.
it's 18 points. I love when college faces.
Dude, listen, this is probably the latest time of the year that I've spent most of my stuff, if you think about it, because usually I blow it in week 3. So I'm getting better.
7-0. Arizona impressed me by winning in Cleveland. Their karate is nothing. Probably, I would say so. Next game is the Indianapolis Colts at the San Francisco 49ers. This is actually the Sunday night game, so I bet you NBC wish they can just give this game back because you got two not really good teams playing there. They are both underachieving, with the Colts being at 2-4, the Niners at 2-3. I don't really see that much scoring here. I don't think that Carson Wentz is going to be is not going to impress well with the Colts. I mean, he won last week, but they played the Texans. Big deal. He just didn't impress me. I mean, they won in San Francisco last year. I remember early in September when he was with the Eagles. But I don't think there's going to be any points there. I think that's going to be a really low scoring game. And 42.5 is not very much. I'm just taking the under on this one. What do you think?
I think it's a safe pick. And here I just look at it and I was like, I love the Colts run defense or run. Like Taylor's been doing really well lately. I'm going to take the Colts here. I think they could win. I like San Fran actually winning, though. I think they're going to win by 2 or 3. These Sunday night games, these primetime games have been like coming down to the wire almost every game. So if I see anything over like 3, I'm probably going to take the team because that's just the way I look at things, the way things have been going right now. But Trey Lance is out, and he would have won. So I'm taking the Colts with the points.
So Jimmy G starting?
He is. Yeah, Trey Lance isn't even active. He's not even playing at the game.
Pat loves the Niners. Bob says Wentz has looked good the last 2 weeks. It helps when you don't have to throw it 45 times a game.
Well, if he would have stayed in Philly, he'd still be doing it. So Nothing's changed.
Exactly. So we got the New Orleans Saints. This is our Monday Night Football game. Last game of the week. Saints and the Seahawks live from Lumen Field. And it's funny to think the Seahawks are playing in primetime again for the second week in a row. With the third week in a row, because didn't they play on Thursday night the week before?
It's Gino primetime.
Exactly. I mean, they're another game in primetime for the Seahawks. It's going to be rainy here, so I mean, I would probably take the under if I wasn't, if I didn't already pick a team. But I'm just going to go with the Saints because I think that Jameis Winston is going to throw 5 balls in Jamal Adams' hands that he'll drop every single one of them. So he won't get his normal 4 interceptions he normally gets. So I think the Saints are going to win. I like what they have, and I just don't really like the Seahawks with Geno Smith as their quarterback. And last week I took the Steelers laying the points, and the Seahawks covered. Hopefully it'll work out for me this week. What do you think?
I think that I strongly regret what I did with this pick. I think this is going to cost me. I took the Seahawks straight up. I don't think they're going to win. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe the weather's going to help. I was just reading. I mean, Collins is going to be out, which means it's going to be a Rashad Penny day. But I do think that they cover. But I'm still going to stick with this just because this is a game and I'm going to try and get 4 points out of this. I do believe that they cover, though. Like I said, it's Monday night. It's +4. All the games have been. I'm going to take it. They did it last week. They helped me out, right? Monday night, they covered it. So I'm going to go with them again.
You got to risk it to get the biscuit.
Got to go for it. And this is the only time I've done it.
Let's go to our fans and see what they have to say. Wait, the Eagles don't like running the ball? No, he'd be throwing it 55. College football betting tip. Bet against UConn. Doesn't matter how many points. They are worse than 1998 Steiner football.
Yeah, it's
the thing about UConn is, I mean, they lost at UMass, and then they ended up playing Wyoming tough, which was so weird. I don't know what to tell you with that, but stay away from the game. Worst team in FBS is UConn. They are freaking awful. I agree with that. All right, guys. So it's one of our highlights of the show now. It's time for that
hot dog of the week.
All right, my hot dog of the week is going to be the Tennessee Titans. I can see them coming off a big win against the Buffalo Bills, making another statement by beating the Tennessee Titans at home. Who's your hot dog?
I'm taking the Bengals.
The Bengals beating the Ravens. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brown right 22 trap. Okay. Do you guys have any hot dogs you like besides the Dolphins?
I like obviously Seattle.
All right.
And the Eagles. I think
The
that's
Eagles?
probably.
That's a good one.
I think that's a big one. I mean, because if you think of it, like how many fans do you think the Eagles are going to take that stadium over?
There's going to be a lot of Eagle fans.
Right?
I predict. Yeah. I would have loved to take that trip. That would have been such a fun trip to go to. But, you know, it's things happen and priorities.
Yeah.
Priorities when you're an adult now. So if I was 28 years old, I'd definitely be in Vegas this weekend. All right, guys, it's mega parlay time.
Well, you tried to go, but they wouldn't let you in.
Yeah, that's right. I went to the Raiders, the visiting center, but this game would be, this is the Eagles' revenge for the Raiders for me. I'm taking the Eagles plus 130, Texans, Cardinals over 47.5, the Bears plus 13, and the Saints minus 4. I was honestly thinking about putting maybe going with the 49ers in this one, but I decided not to. I'm just going to go with these teams here. It's plus 1436, so it's a decent mega parlay. Mike, you're going to go with the Panthers.
Yeah, so
I'm 42.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers Giants under. Like I said, I mean that's a game like I want to stay away, but I really don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring there. I love the Packers here laying the 8. The Jets Patriots, I just don't see that happening. 42.5. I like the half point on there. I think that's going to be helper with the little hooker on there. And the Falcons. Give me the Falcons. I took them. It was minus 2.5. Just give me them straight up. I think they do win this game. So we'll play it safe here.
All right. I wouldn't even go to Vegas to watch this team.
You would. Oh, yeah.
You would. I'd watch it at the Spearmint Rhino. I would too.
That's an inside joke for all of us here.
Did you know Featherstone is Alvin Mack? I don't get that.
No idea what that means.
All right, so that'll be the end of the show for this week. So, Mike, you think you'll finally beat me after 3 weeks?
I mean, I hope so. If not, then loser leaves town next week. I mean, if I I'm gonna have to figure something out. But I don't know. Like this is I mean, have you ever seen spreads this big in a week before?
Never saw the spread plus 18. That's crazy.
And they're all 4 o'clock games, right?
4 o'clock games, yeah.
So I don't know. Something's gonna happen, but I don't know.
One of those teams that are plus 18 or 19 is going to win, and they're going to, and Vegas is
going to something has to happen. There's no way they can all cover that. So, somewhere along the line, we'll see what happens.
All right. So that's the end of the show. Get those fingers up, everybody, and you can.
Oh, stay lit.
Stay lit.
Go at the finger.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.